Coach, another slow start. Is there anything?
Yeah, frustrating, Fitz. Really frustrating. And, you know, we did not win the line of scrimmage today, and that was the biggest thing that I saw. And didn't play good enough in the first half and kind of hung around. Then made some plays in the second half to get the thing tied and see some life and some resolve. But then, same thing, we can't get off the field on defense, and we can't sustain any drives on offense. And I feel bad for Ave, because I think he's playing well enough for us to win, but he's not getting the time, and we've got to do some evaluating ourselves as a staff of what we need to adjust and change, because you know, I don't know what our identity is right now after 4 games. I thought I did after Iowa State, but that hasn't come to fruition. So I know the kids want to win, and I know the kids, we got tough, resilient kids in there that'll come back and battle. We've got great kids. We've got to find some things. Maybe we got to simplify some stuff on both sides of the ball so that our kids can play faster. I thought we didn't play as fast as I would have hoped.
What do you want the identity of this team to be?
You know, it's on defense, we've got to shore some things up, because we're giving up the bounce run too much, where a kid has nothing there and it bounces outside, and maybe we're not getting off blocks in the back end, secondary or something. So we've got to shore up some run game stuff there. I like some of the things we're doing in the pass game, and we've got some pass rushers. We're not good enough in run defense right now. And then on offense, I think it's pretty evident that when you take a guy like Dylan Edwards out of this offense, it's a big hit to us. And he tried to go. I applaud Dylan. He gave it a go and gave it an effort and got a couple runs, but he just, whatever reason, I knew he wasn't going to last that long, and he didn't. Kid tried. I appreciate that. Had a couple good runs, but when we don't have Dylan, we lack that explosiveness on offense, and so we've got to decide if we're going to get to a different personnel grouping and try to 3-step game guys, try to get on the perimeter a little bit more. I thought JB Price did a couple good things. I thought Antonio did a couple good things, but we're not sustaining blocks well enough. That's a good defense. They stunt and blitz you a lot.
Feels like a lot of throws short of the sticks. Is there justification of that? Would you like to see more vertical?
Yeah, I'll have to look at that. Without a question, I mean, that's an easy answer of, yeah, we've got to get to the sticks, but was the read wrong? Was the kid running a wrong route? Was he under duress? We'll look at that, but 100%, those are things that we gotta evaluate as a staff, because the kids want to win. We aren't as talented as I thought maybe we were. Once again, without Dylan, that's a big hit, but that's the hand we're dealt right now.
Coach, as a football coach, are you kind of offended that your team's getting beat at the point of attack? I don't know if that's a right
I've been doing this so long, Fitz. I really have. I'm disappointed. I don't know if I'm offended. I don't think that's probably not. I'm disappointed more than anything that we're not either giving these guys enough opportunities and finding ways for them to be successful, or finding schemes maybe for them to be successful at the point of attack on both sides. And once again, that's kids are going to come and play hard for us. I know that they're going to play hard for us. We got to reset some things as a coaching staff and find out what we can do really well or better.
It seems to me that every time you've called, Matt Wills has called something off the books, Jace in particular, running the ball, it works.
Yeah, no doubt.
But
We can
see
do that.
Like once a game, maybe.
I know it, and you know, and maybe we need to be more creative not having Dylan. Maybe we need to be a lot more creative because we don't have Dylan, but we try to run some power read and stuff, and you know, they did some good things with some stunts and things, but hats off, they did a good job, I thought, on defense.
One more, does Avery, and I know the design runs aren't particularly well,
Yeah.
because they're watching for it, but
Yeah.
does he need to, some of those scrambles?
Probably, that's something we ought to look at. I would, you know, it looked like there was some open space, but once again, he's got the helmet on, and I trust that kid. And he's trying to push the ball downfield because, and I understand that from his perspective, we're not getting the big chunk plays. So maybe he's trying to wait for something to get open to try to get the chunk play rather than scramble for 8 or 10. That's something we got to look at. But, make no mistake, Fitz, we're all disappointed. We got to get together as a staff, and we got to meet with both sides of the ball and say, okay, guys, what do we got to do? How can we simplify this so that we can put a product out there that we know what the expectation is. And we had 2 personal fouls on the same drive that gave up a score. We fumble a punt. We get a fumbled punt. We aren't going to be a good enough football team to beat ourselves in these 1-score games. And that's we've played 4 football games, which I'm floored at. It's September 12th, and we've played 4 football games, and we've been in 4 1-score games. Our guys need a break a little bit. We need a break as coaches as well, but we'll come back and reset. I told the guys, we're in the storm right now. Without a doubt, we are in the storm, and we're going to own that storm. As coaches, we're going to own it. As players, I know they'll own it. But we're going to see some calmness this week in that eye of that storm, and we're going to figure some things out, and we're going to make some adjustments. We're going to make some changes, and then we got to fight our ass off through that storm as we go to UCF in the meat of our schedule, because the meat of our schedule is still in front of us. That's the thing I don't want to, and I told guys, do not jump off this ship, and I don't think we will. I think you guys know that we won't either. We get kids that believe in K-State, and the meat of our schedule is still in front of us. But if we don't change some of the way we're doing things, that meat of the schedule is going to be really a challenge.
Chris, you were willing to put some players out there you hadn't used a ton this season. Saw some freshmen, saw some guys on defense who were replacing some veteran guys. Just what went into that decision? You looking for a spark?
No, we're beat up pretty good, Kellis, and so some guys have earned it with the opportunities that they've done in practice, and so yeah, there's some other guys that get some chances, and that's kind of what we're trying to search for too. Maybe is somebody that like I said, Antonio ran the ball a couple times pretty good. JB ran it a couple times pretty good. So we're going to keep searching a little bit, but we've got to do a good job as a staff getting together and figure some things out.
Since you guys got here in 2019, you've been one of, if not the most consistent team in the Big 12. With all that over the first 6 years, how in year 7 do you guys look like this through 4 games?
Doesn't it? I don't know. It's a great question, and you're right. I pride myself and I pride our coaching staff and our teams on being a sustained winner, and right now we're not that, and I've got to own it. We've got to own it as a football staff and football team, but I'm not throwing in the towel and saying, we got to figure this out, because we got kids that want to be good in there, and I've got a lot of pride. I do have a lot of pride, and we are going to get this thing figured out. I know that.
Is it a sales pitch at all to tell your team you're 0-1 in the Big 12? That's all. Or is it just?
I think they're so irritated of the one score, and even though in reality you could say this game didn't seem like a 1-score game, it was. Yep. It was, and we still had a chance, and we didn't get it done. So, but I also know this, Fitz, we're going to be in a bunch of these. That's the Big 12. We're going to be in a bunch of 1-score games, so we got to figure some things out and take some ownership, and it starts with us as coaches.
Special teams misuse kind of been a trend. What's the fix for that type of thing?
Sterling's a pretty reliable dude, and he dropped it. He's a really reliable guy. So, I love Sterling. I trust Sterling. That's an anomaly. Other than that, we got 10 points off special teams. We got the fumble where Mason Olguin found a way to get it. We push guys into a returner. That's coaching, and we're teaching that, and we get 3 points there. Then Garrett Harstead, man, God, love Garrett Harstead. What a great story for that kid to walk on here and have an opportunity to help us and make an impact play and get, whether it was a block or he tackled the guy, however it was, but that got us a tie ball game. So special teams actually got us a little bit of help today.
Did you ever consider sending Luis out for some of those more fringe yardage field goals he hit from 51, and then it would have been like 55, 56?
There was one direction it would have been a little bit harder. So.
Thank you.
Okay.